The last time I spoke to my sister, she was at the kitchen table with a half-finished letter in front of her, and when I asked who it was for, she said, "Someone I miss, but who doesn't deserve to hear from me." I didn't know she meant me until I found that letter in my mailbox after she left. The last time I saw my sister, she was sitting at the kitchen table with one leg pulled up under her, the way she used to sit when we were kids. The table was cluttered. Crumbs from toast, a spoon with a smear of peanut butter still on it, and that half-written letter in front of her. She looked tired, but not in a way that begged for help. Just the kind of tired that seems permanent. I was rinsing out a mug at the sink when I asked, "Who's the letter for?" She didn't even lift her eyes. Just tapped her pen once, then said, "Someone I miss, but who doesn't deserve to hear from me." I chuckled.
Wow.
Harsh. She didn't laugh. Just kept looking at the paper. I wish I'd noticed the way her shoulders tightened after she said it, or how she sat there for a long minute like she was waiting for me to say something meaningful.
I didn't.
I just said, "All right, well, let me know if you want dinner later," and left the room. That was a Thursday. By Saturday morning, she was gone. No note. No call. Her bedroom was stripped. The closet door was open and empty. Her toothbrush was gone. I called her, thinking maybe she was just staying with a friend. I even tried her office, but they said she'd quit. She'd been living with me for 9 months. Ever since the situation with Mom got bad. After Mom passed, I told her she could stay as long as she needed. And then, just like that, she was gone. I didn't panic right away. That's the thing. When someone leaves quietly, you don't assume it's permanent. You think maybe they're just mad.
Or avoiding something.
Or tired of you. But it'll pass. It didn't. I called every day for 2 weeks. Sent texts. Emails. Nothing. Her voicemail was still that cheerful message she'd recorded years ago, the one where she says, "If I didn't answer, I'm either working or hiding from the world." Guess which one? Funny how that used to make me smile. Now it just sounded like a door slamming. I didn't tell anyone right away. I figured she'd come back, and I didn't want to explain why she left when I didn't even know myself. But I started noticing little things. The box of family photos was gone. Her childhood journals, too. And the necklace she used to wear every day but hadn't touched in years, also gone. She had planned it. That much was clear. What wasn't clear was why. We didn't fight. Not really. But the more I sat with the silence she left behind, the more I started replaying things. Her side comments. The times she came home quiet and didn't want to talk. The way she'd say you wouldn't get it whenever something upset her. There were cracks, I just hadn't been looking. 3 weeks ago, I got the letter. It was a regular envelope. No return address. Just my name, in her handwriting. I held it for a while before opening it. Something about it made my stomach go tight. Inside was 1 page. Lined paper. The kind she always used for writing when she was serious. It was dated the same day I last saw her at the table. Here's what it said. "I know you probably think I left suddenly. That I didn't say goodbye because I was being dramatic or selfish. Maybe that's true. I don't really know how to explain this without sounding ungrateful, but I'll try. I grew up in your shadow. I know you didn't ask for that. You didn't mean to take up all the attention, but you did. And I had to become quiet so there'd be space for me to exist. Every time I cried, you were already comforting someone else. Every time I failed, you were already succeeding. I don't think I ever hated you for it, but I resented how easy things seemed for you. You were loved out loud. I was tolerated. Living with you this year just reminded me of all of that. The way you ask how I am, but never wait for the answer. The way you listen but don't really hear. I miss you, but I don't think you miss me. I think you miss the version of me that didn't ask for anything. So I left. Not because I hate you, but because I don't want to disappear in your house again. If I come back, I want it to be as someone you actually see. That was the end. No love. No from. Just the letter. I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's okay. And I don't know if I deserve to know. But I've started noticing how quiet the house really is. How I used to fill it with noise, so I wouldn't have to think about what I wasn't paying attention to. I thought I was being a good sibling by giving her space, by not pushing. But maybe space isn't what she needed. Maybe she needed someone to notice she was fading. And I didn't. About a week after I got the letter, I started going through her old room. I wasn't sure why. Maybe I thought there'd be some clue. Something that would tell me where she went. Or why she waited so long to say anything. The room still smelled faintly like her, like the lavender lotion she used. Her desk drawers were empty, except for a single receipt from a diner 2 towns over. The date on it was 2 days before she left. I drove there the next morning, parked across the street, just to see it for myself. The place was small, old school. Booths by the windows. A waitress who looked like she'd been there for decades. I asked her if she remembered a woman, late 20s, short hair, quiet, writing something in a notebook. She looked at me for a second, then said, "Yeah, she came in twice. Ordered tea and eggs. Didn't talk much. Tipped well." Did she say where she was going? The woman shook her head.
No.
Just asked for a corner booth. Seemed like she was trying not to be found. That hit harder than I expected. That same night, I dug out one of our old family photo albums. I flipped through it like maybe I'd see something I missed the first time. Every page was loaded, with birthdays, school events, vacations. And yeah, I was in most of them. Smiling. Centered. Always arm in arm with someone. She was in the background a lot. Or off to the side. One picture stopped me cold. Christmas, maybe 2004. She must have been about 10. I was opening a present in the foreground, Mom and Dad both looking at me. She was sitting behind the tree, watching. I don't remember that moment. I don't remember her sitting there. But the look on her face in that photo, it was quiet, like she'd already figured something out that the rest of us hadn't. That was the night I realized she hadn't just left. She'd been leaving for years. A few days later, I did something stupid. I wrote her back. I didn't know where to send it, so I just wrote the letter and left it in the glove box of my car. I don't know what I was expecting, some kind of reverse miracle where she'd sense it and reappear. But I needed to say something. You were right. I didn't see it. I didn't see you. And that's on me. I don't know how to fix it, but I want to try if you'll let me. I wrote more. Too much probably. Apologies. Memories. Regrets I didn't even know I had. But it stayed there, unread, unsent. Like everything I should have said years ago. Then last weekend something happened. My neighbor, Janet, who's always nosy in a sweet way, said someone was outside my house late Friday night. Said she saw a woman standing by my mailbox around midnight, just standing there for a long time. She looked familiar, Janet said. Short hair. Small frame. I almost called out to her. But something about the way she stood there made me think I shouldn't. I ran outside like an idiot. Of course she wasn't there. But there was something in the mailbox. A single Polaroid. It was us. Her and me in our backyard, probably high school age. She was laughing, actually laughing. I had my arm around her shoulders. I barely even remember the picture. On the back, in her handwriting, it said, "I wanted to remember it wasn't all bad." That was all. No return address. No number. Just that one sentence. And now I'm stuck again. Because, what do you do with that? She's still out there. Still watching, maybe. But she's not ready to come back. And she might never be. I want to believe the picture means something good. But maybe it was her way of saying goodbye for real this time. A week passed. I kept that Polaroid on the fridge like a magnet might keep her closer. I didn't tell anyone about it. Not even my girlfriend, who had been asking less and less about my sister. She never really understood our dynamic. Thought I was being dramatic. "She's just taking space," she said once. "She'll be back when she wants to be." But something in that photo told me it wasn't that simple. My sister didn't do things halfway. If she showed up, even for a second, it meant something. And if she left something behind, it meant even more. Still, I try to go back to normal. Work. Groceries. I even cleared out the guest room, hoping the activity would distract me. That's when I found the second letter. It was taped under the bottom drawer of her dresser, a place I'd never think to look if I hadn't pulled the drawer out completely to clean behind it. Just one sheet of paper, folded 3 times, in the same line notebook style. If you find this, it means you're still looking. I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse. Here's the truth you probably won't like. I didn't leave because of you. I left because of who I become around you. You're not cruel. You're not a bad person. But around you, I disappear. I shrink. I become the version of myself who doesn't ask questions, who doesn't correct you, who doesn't speak up when something hurts. Maybe that's not your fault, but it's not mine either. And for once, I want to be somewhere where I don't feel like a ghost in my own life. Don't look for me. If I ever feel like I can come back and be someone whole around you, I will. But if I never do, I hope you'll at least remember me as real. I sat on the floor of that empty room for hours, just reading it over and over. She wasn't angry. That's what hurt the most. She sounded free, like someone who had finally made peace with leaving. And yet, there was one part one couldn't stop thinking about. If you find this, it means you're still looking. She knew me too well. Even after everything, she knew I'd go digging, that I'd chase ghosts if I had to. And that made me wonder, was this letter really a goodbye? Or was it a trail? A few days later, I started going through her old laptop. She'd left it behind, wiped clean except for one folder hidden deep in the drive. It was full of scanned letters. Letters she'd written to people, maybe ones she never sent. One was addressed to an old teacher, another to Mom. But the last one, untitled, was dated the night before she left. I stayed up until 3 a.m. tonight, just sitting at the kitchen table, watching him walk around like everything's fine. I know he means well. I know he doesn't try to take up all the space. But that doesn't mean there's any left for me. Sometimes I think he'll ask me something real, like how I'm sleeping, or if I ever stopped feeling like I'm still that girl in the corner of the room. But he never does. He asks if I want dinner, or if I need anything from the store. And I say no, because that's easier. But it's not what I need. She'd been writing things I never heard, feeling things I never asked about, carrying around a version of our relationship that I barely recognized. And I started to realize, maybe I wasn't looking for her. Maybe I was trying to find the version of me that didn't lose her. Then, 2 nights ago, something changed. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. A woman's voice. Calm, quiet.
Familiar.
Don't say anything, she said. I didn't. I'm safe. That's all I can tell you.
Pause.
I don't hate you. I just need to learn who I am without you near me all the time. Longer pause. I heard cars in the background. Maybe a train. Then she said, "You can write back. If you want. Just leave it under the bench in the park by the old elementary school. Thursdays after dark."
Click. She was gone again.
But this time, she'd left a door open. Thursday came, and I was already at the park an hour early. The bench she mentioned was still there. The old wooden one with the carved initials and the paint peeling off. We used to sit there after school when we were kids, trading snacks and talking about nothing. Back when things were easy, or at least easier than now. I brought the letter in a plain envelope. I didn't know what to write at first, so I just told her the truth. I hear you now. I think I finally hear you. I don't know who I was around you that made you feel small, but I believe you. I don't want to be that version of me anymore. I want to know who you are when I'm not in the room. I hope you'll let me meet her one day. I'm sorry I made home feel like a place you had to leave to breathe. I won't come looking again. But I'll be here if you ever need someone who's ready to listen this time. I folded it gently, placed it under the bench, and walked away. It was all I could do. The next week I came back, not to leave anything, just to see if the letter was gone.
It was.
But in its place was something I didn't expect. A photo. It was her. Recent. She looked older, but calm. She was standing in front of a small bookstore with a chalkboard sign out front. On the back of the photo, in her handwriting, "I'm figuring it out. one day at a time. No name of the place. No address.
Just the image.
I searched online, reverse image, even posted in a few forums for people to help identify it. Nothing came back. But one person in a comment thread did point out the detail I'd missed. The chalkboard had today's date on it. Not the day I found it. The day I picked it up. Which meant she'd been there.
That day.
Close enough to watch. Close enough to place it. She was still watching from a distance. Still letting me know, in her own way, that she hadn't disappeared completely. And then something else happened. 2 weeks later, a small package showed up at my door. No return address again. Inside was a book, an old paperback copy of Jane Eyre. A story she loved. One we used to argue about because she said Jane was strong, and I said Jane was naive. This copy had notes in the margins.
Hers.
Thoughts, questions, quotes underlined with little arrows and scribbled dates. I flipped to the last page. In the corner, tiny and faint, she'd written, "Sometimes I still want a home, but not one that makes me small." That was it. I sat on the couch for hours, just holding that book. Every line she marked felt like a message. Like she wasn't just writing to herself, but to me, in a language only we could understand. But here's where it twisted again. Last night, I got a call from an unknown number. It wasn't her. It was a man's voice.
Calm.
Careful.
Hi.
You don't know me, but I live next door to your sister. My heart stopped. He gave me a first name, said he met her at a book group. Said she mentioned me once, briefly. Said she seemed guarded but kind. She told me if anything ever happened, I should let you know. What do you mean, if anything happened? I asked. A pause. She left town again. Yesterday. No warning. Just said she had to go. Then silence. No other details.
Just that.
She was gone again. Now, I don't know what's worse. That she trusted someone else to call me. Or that she didn't call me herself. I still check the mailbox like something might be there. A letter. A note. Anything. But most days it's just bills, catalogs, and silence. People ask how she's doing and I say, I think she's okay. Even though I have no idea where she is. The truth is, I don't think she wants me to know. And maybe that's what I deserve. Not because I was cruel, but because I wasn't careful. I thought love was enough just by being there, but I never asked what it felt like for her. And now, every time the phone rings, I wonder if it's her, or just another reminder that it isn't. She trusted a stranger to tell me she was gone. That's the part I can't get past.